Welcome back, Face4 Wrestling fans. We are here for another 4 for 4, where we ask 4 questions out of 4 non-wrestling categories. Today is going to be a very interesting 4 for 4 with a special guest. We are going to do one very specific to our guest this time. So we hope that you sit back, crack a good one, and enjoy it. Today's guest is Amanda. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing real good. We're going to have a good time. Our 4 for 4 this time, I thought this would be fun for you, will be specific to makeup. Because I like makeup. I know you like makeup. We're going to do it big. But that's not what's special about this one. What's special about this one, it is a Star Wars themed makeup. So we're going to do it big, because if you haven't seen yet, and if you haven't done this yet, go over to Amanda Lorian on Instagram and check her out. She has really great content, and she's a big cosplayer. And we'll get more into that in a minute. But we're going to do a Star Wars specific makeup. And this is exciting because the color story is looking pretty fine. So we're going to get into that. Top 4 categories, non-wrestling. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started.
A little nervous, I hope.
No, you're going to do fine. We're going to start first with makeup, and we're going to pick our colors for today. So you pick your 3 colors, and I'll pick my 3 colors.
Okay. I'm going to go, I do want to try this outer rim color.
Okay.
So it's like a red, purple, like violet kind of color.
So
I'm channeling my
like
Sith. I'm channeling my Sith side here.
This one right here.
And
so that would be a good middle color.
I kind of want to play like with that Galactic Empire. I'm all here for like the Sith colors.
Okay. So you want to do Sith colors? We can do definitely black.
Yeah, definitely.
So black will be your shadow, the very dark part of the eye that we're gonna do. You want to play with that, because I think that can go together since red is in there.
Yeah.
And then probably I would probably say this would be the color at the beginning of the eye. Yeah. So we're going to try that. So she's picked her 3 colors. Black right here. That one's actually called Star Destroyer. We're going to do Outer Rim, which is right there. And we're going to do Galactic Empire, which is right there.
And the irony is, once y'all know who I cosplay, that I am not a Sith.
So you're betraying.
But I am no Jedi either.
Oh, so you're in between. Oh, that's you're mercenary. Because they could be good, they could be bad. It just depends on the price.
Yeah, I could be.
Well, let's see. I'm going to go more. I like the blues. I want to play with the Rebellion, which looks like this.
That's a really pretty color.
I like that one. Let's see. The Space Pirate, I'm going to go play on the opposite side. And then, let's see, we're going to start very, very neutral with Starfighter. I'm going to see where we go from there. So the next thing I'm going to ask you is to pick a highlight color for your eyebrow. Ooh. So it has to be something shimmery. You can even choose for your other palettes, but it has to be something that is, it gives you a nice wash of color without actually giving you pow color.
I think that hyperdrive would work. I like
that
chrome.
We could do that.
Look, because I feel like it plays off the outer rim.
Yeah, we could do that. And then I'm going to do Rebel Princess, I think.
That one's a pretty color.
Yep, I'm going to do Rebel Princess. All right, so we got our colors. So the first top 4. Top 4 movie crushes.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be tough because I like a lot of people.
Oh.
So kind of one of my first crushes, may he rest in peace, but is Brandon Lee.
Okay.
The Crow.
Yeah.
Loved him. There was just something about the way that he looked, just beautiful cheekbones.
Mm-hmm.
I loved him in The Crow because I like guys with like the kind of long hair.
Okay.
And the more goth look. I love just the life philosophy that he had. And just the energy, always smiling, just always laughing, and just how much dedication he had to put into The Crow. And it was something so out of his bailiwick. And I do like guys that are shorter than me.
Do you?
So I think he was maybe 5'3", 5'4". He was on the
Really?
short side. He was definitely
I
on the short
never
side.
knew that.
Maybe 5'6", but he was definitely on the short side. And just, you know, there was just something about the way he looked. And I love The Crow because it, to me, I know people are like, it's about revenge, and he went out there. I kind of looked at it like a love story.
Really?
Because I was like, I want somebody to come back from the dead for me. If I died a horrible death, please come back and avenge me. You know?
You like people haunting you then.
Yeah, well, I just want vengeance for me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
you know, but I mean, I
Not the little vengeance. You want
right.
the big vengeance.
I want the big vengeance. You take me out, I want somebody to come avenge my death. But just, I really love that aspect. That love was so powerful, though, to bring somebody back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And that they got that happy ending at the end of the movie. Yeah. You know, and they were able to be together in that suffering and that pain that they endured, you know, was able to be put to rest. Yeah. The true love conquers. Love conquers all.
Yeah. That's a really unique way of looking at that movie.
Yeah, that's the way I've always looked at it that way. And just, of course, I love the soundtrack. I love the vibe. You know, I'm a little mixed on the movie, the upcoming remake, but I'm willing to give it a chance. Yeah, I'm willing to give it a chance. Okay. So I'm gonna go with it. But Brandon Lee, and my sister jokes around with me all the time. She's like, "You have a type." I totally do. Brandon Lee is part of that reason. Mm-hmm. My other movie crush, Jason Momoa.
I can understand.
Another guy with long hair. Yes. He was somebody that was up for the Crow remake at one point.
I didn't know that.
There are photos of him online in like test makeup.
Yeah. And
he had the face paint and the long hair, and I'm just here like, hello. And just I met him at a Comic-Con in 2014. I want to say it was 2014, and just he was dreamy in person, just tall and just handsome. And he's just, hey ladies, how you doing? And I went with one of my best friends, Holly, and he was a little tipsy.
That's okay.
A few bags, okay. But he smelled like cigars and Guinness, and he smelled really good. And
interesting combination.
Yeah, you would think it would not smell great, but it does.
And then it's mixed with his body. It just smells.
Very nice guy too. Just walked around, said hi to everybody. He was like, "Thanks for being here," because he had a long line for this. And yeah, he leaned over, he put his arm around me and my friend, and we're simping in the picture. I'm not gonna lie, we are simping. I'm here like.
We're gonna post that.
The picture is epic. So my second crush. So I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit here because he is a wrestler. Okay. But at the same time, he's done some TV movies.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with Sting.
Okay. Yes.
Steve Borden. He's done a couple. He did a TV pilot, Shutter Speed. Okay. I'm gonna count that one. And then let's see, what was it? I forget the name of it. It's like Real Men Tell Lies or something like that. It was something.
We're gonna put it right here.
It's something. We will fix it.
Yeah, we'll fix it. Right here.
And then of course he's done some other TV stuff outside of wrestling, but
it still counts.
Yeah,
it's still on screen.
But the same look. It was the whole Crow Sting look that drew me to him. He's the reason why I sat down and watched wrestling with my dad, became a wrestling fan, and yeah, the long hair, the gloomy kind of just very goth.
He was fun to watch for me. I'm gonna admit that.
Yeah, so totally the Brandon Lee type, and yeah, I still love Sting. I got the shakes on him. I've met him twice. Every time I think I break out in sweats, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He was so nice the first time I met him, and he's totally worth it. If you guys are wanting to meet him at a con, he's great. He's very polite to all his fans, and he's dreamy in person. I was like, you're still extremely attractive. My number one crush, though, my number one, my babe, the one that everybody teases me about, is Jeff Goldblum.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I was probably about 8 or 9 when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time. Okay. And I remember the whole riding the helicopter, they're going to the island, and here's Jeff Goldblum with his laugh, and he's cracking jokes, and I'm here like, who is this guy? Wearing all black with like all his necklaces and just sitting back on the chair, full of confidence, getting the kind of long hair.
I remember it. Yeah.
Totally gonna have a type. And you know, just the lines, the smooth charm. He's doing the whole thing with Laura Dern about the, you know, just the imperfections in the skin, and she's just like, imperfections in the skin. And he's flirting with her right in front of her man, you know, just.
Yeah.
Was he the nice? Was he kind of like the best character in that movie in terms of like a nice guy? No, but you know, I think there was that.
At least you admitted it.
I mean, you know, there's that meme out there that was like, you knew you like toxic men when you picked Shishomaru over Inuyasha for anime. That Shishomaru girl right here. So,
but they're both toxic.
They are. They really are.
But I'm not gonna lie. I was a very big Shishomaru fan too.
Yeah. So I'm here like, well, you know, Jeff Goldblum kind of, you know. It was a little toxic in that movie. He talked about having 5 wives, and you know, I was like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you though, because Ian Malcolm. But loved him in that movie, and then I started watching other things he was in. So The Fly, minus the whole part we actually turns into The Fly. Oh. I'm like, why do engineers and scientists that I've ever met not like that?
And he's again your type, long hair.
Yeah, long hair. And I like him a little nerdy too. So he was totally up my alley in that movie. And I think I've watched almost everything he's been in because I just think he's great. And then I met him. That was probably one of my biggest con accomplishments of all time. Super nervous. The most nervous I've ever been in my life. He is just as flirtatious in person like he is in the movies. He ate it up. I don't think I had any words.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking to you right now, just like normal. With him, I was going.
You forgot your name.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And he's just.
That's a big effect on someone.
And he just ate it up.
Oh, he knew it.
He was like, oh, he's rubbing his face in my hair in our picture, and he's like,
whoa.
And just. You know, thank you for being here. It's so nice to see you. I'm so glad you came. You know, just made it very personal. It's like you came to see me. So I'm being led away by my friend because I'm just
led away.
Both probably. And
one on each arm.
Oh
yeah. You couldn't get the legs to go.
No, my brain was not functioning at all. So then, I get back in the line to get the actual picture we took signed.
Yeah.
And hundreds of people in his line. He slides the picture over with his agent, from his agent. He looks up at me and he smiles, and then he goes, "Oh, we look good together." Yes. I was trying to actually talk, and I'm like, "No, brain is mush at this point. It is mush." But he is very Jeff Goldblum in person. What you see on TV, the whole kind of he is. It's absolutely real.
It's good to know. Oh wow, that's. So we're gonna start with your light color. Okay. So whichever color you chose. So for example, I chose Starfighter. So I'm gonna go in with that, and I'm gonna load my brush up. I usually start with a flat one because I pack my eyelid with not all of it, but like
some of it's super flat. But is that one?
Yeah, it'll work. Okay. Yeah, it'll work. Or you could do this one will work too. You know.
Yeah. I only have a few brushes.
It's okay. It's okay. You work with what you got.
That's the best part is I'm learning.
That's right.
I have I'm wanting to branch out, and who better to come to than my favorite than the doctor, my favorite doctor love.
So you're gonna grab the color, and then I usually start right here from the inner corner, and I'll just start packing.
Just about right here.
Yeah. So you go right in that corner. You don't go the whole way. Okay. You go toward the middle, but you want to get that color to pay off.
And then do you just start blending it?
Oh, that's the one thing I did forget. Usually I start with that's the thing I forgot. I probably don't know where it is right now, but I usually start with a primer. So I'll put a primer on top, and it's like, I forgot. It's Urban Decay has one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it usually grips the color, and it really punches it up a little bit. I don't know where I put it, and I'll probably have to go out and get one. But that's usually what I start with first. And also, it also prevents it from creating that line you get when you start sweating. Yeah.
Just like I have. I was like that.
No, you don't have it. Yeah, it usually happens toward the middle of the night, and you wore it for a while. Then you start seeing it crease up, and then it's.
Does that look about?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay.
You do the other side the same way. You pack it up.
I'm baby stepping, guys. I'm learning.
And I'm always learning too. I'm not a professional at this. I usually watch other
know.
people. I watch a lot of videos.
I want to tell you guys, her looks in person, incredible. Still incredible online, but in person, even better. That's why I was like, I need to come to the good doctor.
It's me messing around.
But that's the best part. And I think it's I'm learning a lot from you in terms of branching out and not being afraid to experiment.
Interestingly enough, I get that from other people too. For example, I don't wear orange very often because I'm too scared that it's going to blend in. I've actually had a situation where I dyed my hair and it wound up being the same color as my skin.
Really?
Yes, I did that for prom. Yep. So I stay away from orange. But when I started watching wrestling and I got to know La Rosa Negra, I'm like, she's wearing orange. Why can't I wear it too? So I started wearing orange.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's a really pretty shade. I'm like, that was Starfighter, right?
Yep.
I like the way that looks on you.
Yep. And it I can't really see it from here, but I'm pretty sure that when I get in closer, it's gonna be really nice.
Just what I can see, it looks so pretty. Yeah. And this is a fun color too.
And it's just starting out, and mind you, like I said, it's experimenting. So if the color looks weird, you're gonna look crazy in the beginning. But eventually, when it all comes together, you've blended everything, it starts to take its shape. Okay. So that's usually how I keep it in mind. So then you go into your next color, which is like the middle of the ground color. So you take your second color and you go middle of your eyelid right here.
Okay. So that's going to be the red that I picked.
Yes. So you don't want to overlap you want to overlap a little bit, but you don't want to overtake the first color you put in there.
So you usually go in the middle like this.
Yes. So like I said, you're going to look crazy as heck. But it'll come together.
And not the whole way, right? It's just...
No, just a little bit more. You take a little bit more of that space. So your next top 4 is your top 4 favorite episodes from The Mandalorian.
Oh man, I love the whole show. I know people were mixed on this season in particular, because it is a different departure from the rest of from the first 2 seasons, and it takes a little getting used to, but I feel like I've been such a long time Star Wars fan that I'm familiar with Dave Filoni and John, especially Dave Filoni's style of storytelling. Mm-hmm. That to me it all kind of makes sense. Yeah. But my top 4 favorite episodes, and it's kind of tough, so I'm going to try to go and.
You gotta give it an order?
From 4, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and give an order.
We could do that.
So number 4 is gonna be the very first Mando episode. Okay. That episode was iconic. Season 1, episode 1. Everything from the entrance, from Mando's grand entrance, very Western style, very Clint Eastwood, vibe, to the first bounty hunt he goes on, and then of course he sees IG-11. He meets. Queel, rest in peace, Queel. I love you. Nick Nolte kills it in the part, and then just that iconic moment where everybody first sees the Star Wars favorite baby. You get to see your sweet baby boy, as we call him on our podcast. We call him sweet baby boy Grogu, and just that whole moment was so impactful. I will never forget that. Yeah. So I was like, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen, other than my child. I was like, this is giving my kid a run for the money here. Yeah. So I loved that episode. It set the tone for the show for me, and it's just been the best thing to really enjoy.
So when you do your red, you go as you pack as much as you feel like you need. So if you feel like right now it looks good.
You went all the way.
Yeah, because my eyelids are a little smaller, and I'm suffering from the thing that a lot of us women suffer from when we get older. We lose our space from the hoods.
Mine's doing that too.
Yeah, so
it's an aging wonder.
I still get my little bit back there in there. But yeah, you pack as much as you need for the colored payoff that you want. Okay. So if you like it like that, then you go for that.
Put a little more on this side. So definitely first episode. Mm-hmm. My number 3 is going to be season 2 when Boba Fett shows up. Okay. And so Boba Fett shows up looking for his armor. Mm-hmm. Mando has just lost his ship. the Razor Crest, and it gets blown up. The Dark Troopers have kidnapped Baby Grogu.
Okay.
And
which I'm pretty sure everybody was like, no!
Yes. Everyone was like, no! Because he's there on this little rock trying to connect with other Jedi, and then he gets snatched away because he's just weak after having used all this Force energy.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett shows up out of nowhere and just kicks ass. I mean, just everything from the music for that piece, which is something I do work out to. Guilty pleasure, nerd pleasure here. But the music and the fact that you see Boba Fett in hand-to-hand combat versus relying on guns like he's used to doing, and I mean blasters and whatnot, and he still does to an extent, but he starts off and he just wails on these stormtroopers, just comes in, no mercy, no prisoners. Wow. And then you have Fennec Shand, who I love as a female character. She's this female bounty hunter. Yeah. Comes in, kicks ass. I think she's the Boba. For me, she's the Boba that she reminds me a lot of the original Boba Fett.
Okay. And the Boba that we wanted.
Right, the Boba that we wanted. And Fennec, she kills it. She comes in, she's just sniping people left and right. And, there's a scene where she's back to back with Mando and he's shielding her with his armor. And just, I loved that whole, what I'm talking about. I love that whole sequence, that whole thing. And then here's Boba just, kind of just kicks his leg up and the rockets shoot out and they get stormtroopers. And then I love that part at the end where the ships are going off and then he hits one ship and it crashes into the other with the stormtroopers. And he's like, I was aiming for the other one.
Yes, yes.
And Tamora Morrison just comes in, nails it. Which I've heard that he's supposed to be coming back as Rex in Ahsoka, and I hope that is true. Because we need more Tamora Morrison.
She's already there, like, biting at the bit right now.
Please. So, loved that episode. My number 2, this was hard because 1 and 2, I go back and forth a lot for my picks, but number 2, the season finale of season 2, where we get Luke Skywalker showing up.
Oh, he shows up. Okay, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, spoiler alert.
No, it's okay. It's okay. And by the way, if you haven't seen it yet, warning. I just spoiled it for you guys. I loved everything about the build-up for this episode because it was, who's going to show up? Yeah. Who's going to be here? Who's coming? Which Jedi? You're always wanting to see the old characters come in.
Exactly.
And I get you.
Luke was thrown around in there, but people were throwing around Cal Kestis was the other one, and he's the Jedi protagonist for Jedi Fallen Order and now Jedi Survivor, the video games. And, people were throwing around Ezra Bridger, which now we know the fate of Ezra Bridger for Ahsoka, but people were throwing him around. Some people were throwing Mace Windu back around.
Oh, really?
That was coming around too. Interesting. That would be too. They're still out there. You never know. He could have survived. You never know. No corpse. No. He wasn't.
Nobody knows. Nobody. Nobody knows that.
I want to say I think we did hear his voice at the end of Rise of Skywalker, so he is a Force ghost by then. But yeah, people were throwing different names around, and then when you saw the X-wing fly, I mean that whole episode was fantastic. From the Girl Squad, you had even with our girl Mercedes Monet / Sasha Banks coming in. She just as a wrestling
I hope she's okay.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Because that looked really bad.
I do too.
Yeah.
Rest up, Mercedes.
Yes.
We love you. You were awesome, and congratulations to Willow. As well.
Yes.
But Mercedes, she's killing it though. Casas Reeves, just keep going, Amanda too. We love you. Stay on Mando, please. She did great, but I love that she had that moment where she was with just this packed star power of women. They just came in and they just tore it up, and it was like girl power. Yeah, like the coolest nerd girl power moment. So and then of course when the X-wing just shows up, the Dark Troopers are there and it's just about to happen where they're going to break in the door. Mando had his hands full just even fighting one. Here comes the X-wing, and everyone's like, "Who is it?" And of course people are like, "It's the X-wing. It's got to be Luke Skywalker." Yeah. And then you just have him come in and you see the hand, the mechanical hand. Oh. It's just the whole fight scene, especially when he gets to the ramp where everywhere Mando and everybody's kind of locked in. It mirrors the Rogue One scene of Darth Vader. It's just beautiful. Pure artistry. I go back and I still watch that episode. My son loves it. We are here for it. As you can tell, I'm clearly geeking out over it. Yes. So.
That's okay though. That's okay. That's your top.
It's 3, right? It's my 2.
Oh, so we're getting close then.
My number 1. that I am not embarrassed to say, but maybe permitting it on camera, is
No, you gotta own it. You can't
I
own
own
it.
it.
You gotta own it.
Is my girl Ahsoka
Okay.
showing up. Her episode, you guys, Rosario Dawson was such a fantastic.
And she's already
idea.
good at
She's
everything.
Yeah, she looks
Mhm.
like Ahsoka from the cartoon. Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars character of all time.
Okay.
I adore her, and I because I felt like I identified so much with her at various phases of her journey. And just I love her to pieces. I love what she stands for. And so there was all this talk about, are we going to bring Ahsoka to live action, and who would we, if Ahsoka came in, who would play her? And of course there was a lot of talk about Ashley Eckstein as the voice actress, and she would have done a great job, I think. Just she did a cosplay, it looks phenomenal, but a lot of people threw in Rosario Dawson. And there was a hot moment that I remember Brie Larson being thrown in there, and I know we were like,
that's a stretch. That's a stretch.
She just didn't have the Ahsoka.
No, and even
vibe.
with Captain Marvel, it was okay.
Yeah,
It's just at some point you were like, all right, I'm done.
I feel like she's very wooden, maybe, or very restrained.
Stiff.
Very stiff.
Yeah.
And just with Ahsoka, she has this warmth in her character that I think makes her so endearing. And so people were throwing Rosario Dawson. I even threw the hashtag out there myself too. I was one of them too that joined in for that. And then she shows up, and it's Rosario Dawson, and she looks incredible. Although people judged the Liku in the beginning, the length of her Liku, I was like, guys, they're still working the prosthetics.
Yes.
You got to get it done right.
Yes.
Now it's longer. She's come out on the record saying it's longer now.
They found an explanation for it.
The Liku.
They found the rest of
somebody
it.
that can hold the Liku. They can make that prop where she can wear it. And just seeing her come to life, and the way that they did it, the way that they had her fight, you just see in the dark her sabers just light up, and she's taking out people in the trees, the bad guys in the trees, and just seeing her come to life was incredible for me. And I think for a lot of Star Wars fans, I still love it. I am excited for the show.
Yeah.
I'm on countdown. I do not want my summer to go down fast, but the only reason why I want my summer to go fast is because I want my show. We only get 8 episodes, only 8, but at least I'm hearing they're about 45 minutes.
No, it's not bad.
I will take it.
Yeah.
But I loved her. And Rosario Dawson just nailed the portrayal.
That's not bad at all, though.
Nailed it. Even voice acting.
Yeah.
She did great.
Yeah.
She did her justice, and even more so.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go with your dark color. And the reason why we started from light to dark is if you're using the same brush like you're doing, you don't want to use a dark color and go to light and not have a brush for it. So I'm using the same brush too. What I usually do is when I have a flat brush like this, I take one side and I use a light color, and the other side I use the different color. So that way I get more uses out of the same brush. So yours would be a little bit different, but if you have a flat brush, like maybe flatter than this, because mine's a little flatter, then you can use one side for one color, one side for the other color, and you get more out of your brush. But you can still use the same brush. It's just because you're using black, right?
Right.
It's not going to make a difference with your red because it's going to be black. So what you do is you just load it right up with whatever color you're looking for.
Okay.
And you do that last little bit that you left open. You just start putting it in. You just have to be a little careful. A little goes a long way with dark colors.
Yeah.
So you just want to put it in there, because the next thing you're going to do is you're going to start blending it together and start making that dimension from the dark to the light. So you're just placing the color right there in that corner like that. And then you're going to get a brush like this. I usually use this, but you can use something like that. Or you can use something like, like that. So one of these would work just fine. And you're going to take that brush, you're going to go right to the dark color, and you're going to hold it. From what I've seen, it's better to hold it light-handed instead of down here and go heavy-handed. So you hold it toward the end, and you start making little circles and making your way this way.
I have to say, for ColourPop, I'm really not seeing a lot of fallout.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't own anything ColourPop. I've aspired to and just never got around to it. But I've heard lots of really good things about ColourPop.
Yeah, I have used MAC, and then I really enjoyed MAC. But ColourPop, I was interested in because I've had other friends talk about it.
Yes.
And then, of course, they came out with a series of Star Wars palettes for May 4th. And then they came out with a couple for Mando. And I was like, okay, I'm a Star Wars junkie, y'all. I mean, obviously my handle's Mandalorian.
Right.
And on the pod that we have, I'm like the resident Star Wars expert because I'm the biggest nerd out there. But yeah, I just have to say I'm really impressed, and I feel like the ColourPop palettes have a lot of great longevity.
Yes,
too.
I agree with that. Lots of makeup gurus out there have high praise for ColourPop. Yes.
Yeah, and I feel like even the presentation on the
these are impressive. These are very impressive.
I have the other ones here too. I'll show you guys. They have this cute little Mando.
What do you call them?
Your
little baby?
My sweet baby boy.
It's a baby boy.
So this they had some fun, and then they came out with this Vader one. As you can tell, did I need all of these? No,
but they're fun. They're fun.
I really just enjoy.
Plus, when you're packing, it makes an easy pack.
It does, and I like having a little variety.
Exactly.
In my life, and I have a lot of Star Wars T-shirts and just T-shirts in general. The other thing I have a lot of is anime shirts. That's probably most of what you'll see me in a lot. So people like my sister always talks about having a black T-shirt intervention for me. And I'm like,
oh, really?
All the time.
That's funny.
They're like, judge me. I don't care. I love my shirts.
So right here, I went pretty heavy with the blue, so I'm just playing with the color that I put on there. So you didn't go as heavy as I did, so you have more wiggle room, so you can keep blending. And yep.
And here's a fun fact, guys.
Okay.
My good doctor here, because you're a Star Trek fan, right?
Yes. I'm a very big Star Trek fan.
Star Wars fans and Trekkies.
We can
coexist.
Yes.
We can coexist.
We don't have to fight.
No.
We can still watch each other's shows and be okay.
Exactly. There is peace in the galaxy, you guys.
The galaxy's big enough for everybody.
Exactly.
So if you like adventure, Star Wars. If you like a lot of some adventure and some discussion, Star Trek. Depends on what floats your boat.
Exactly.
Or your starship in this case.
Exactly. We all get along. MAC is great. I feel like MAC's shade ranges are really, really solid. Just they have a wide variety, and I feel like it's especially for people who maybe are kind of in between on colors.
Yeah. I went with it because there were people there that can talk me through the whole process, like what do I do with my eyebrows, and then there was somebody there to do your eyebrows. You can watch them do and ask questions. That's pretty much what happened. That's how me and MAC met.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But I do go out and brand. I have a Bill Nye palette that I have fun with. Yeah. I have face painting palette that I play around with as well, especially on Halloween. So you have your eyebrows filled. I caught up with you. I'll probably have to touch up here and there, but for the most part, we are in the same place. So we can go in with our next color, which is going to be our highlighting color for our eyebrows. So that color can be, I usually pick a color that's shimmery but nude because it also depends on what I'm wearing. So sometimes with the blue, I'll go with a shimmery orange-ish type, or with if it's a pink, a shimmery pinkish type. So I'm going in here with Rebel Princess, so it's like a white shimmer, and you're going in to grab Hyperdrive.
So are you using?
So I'm using a very, very flat brush, which that'll work too because that's an angled brush. So I just go in and load it up. Mine's, like I said, very flat brush, and hers is a very angled brush. Either one will work, especially if you have very angled brows like you do. I usually start at where the angle starts, and I start putting it in there and pulling down. So I'm just placing the color there, because eventually I'm going to kind of blend it in there and kind of disperse the fantasticness of the shimmer under the brow. And basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to highlight the angle under there of that brow. I don't go too far into the brow because I don't want to look like, I don't know if anybody's watched the Drew Carey show. I forgot her name.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Is it Mimi?
Yes, it's Mimi. Yeah, I don't want to Mimi it up here, even though I might look like Mimi right now, because she was into a lot of blues.
I'm like, that's right. She had the very dark blue.
Yes, she did.
That's right.
Yes, she did. Yeah, but I put in as much color as I think I need, and then I get a fluffy brush. You have one in here for sure. I think yours is. So this will work. So I have a very fluffy one I use.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
She's using this one, which will work just the same. So once you have your color where you want it and how far down you want it to go, you just go in there and just start dispersing that color out there in that angle. I want people to see that angle I got going on there. But I share the love even underneath the part that I didn't put in there. But it won't be as intense as the other end. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your next one is, this is my favorite because I love cosplaying. And if you've seen me do Halloween, I did. What did I do? I did Maleficent. That was fun.
Oh, that was so
fun. I liked
great.
it. I was so happy that the Halloween store had the headpiece.
Well, and I feel like that's when we first bonded.
I think so.
Because you always would come to shows with like half paint, like genocide themed.
Yes.
Paint. And that's what I remember when I first met you seeing, and I was like, I love that.
It's just fun. It's a really good excuse to start painting your face. So top 4 cosplays.
Okay. So number 4 that I've done, by Princess Leia.
Okay.
That was the first one that I did. It's probably my easiest cosplay to do. I've nailed the buns.
Okay.
There's a secret to that.
Oh,
for the buns.
There's her. Okay.
So I know a lot of people do the braid and they do the wrap. And if you can, great. My hair is not long enough or strong enough for that. So what I normally do is I get one of those the little bun makers.
Oh yes,
that they clip at the end. So I get the largest one and I make my 2 ponytails as symmetrical as I can, roll up, and do like I would make a regular bun with my hair, but just do it on these sides.
Mine would be Afro puffs.
That's where I'm like, I can totally, that's how I get my buns to be symmetrical instead of doing it manually. It's faster and it's faster to do it that way.
You go in there with your fluffy one and start sharing the love under there. But you want to make sure you start from here and you go out that way. So you disperse. Yes.
So like this.
Yeah, go start here so you disperse it. And then when you go this way, you don't have as much color to share that way.
Okay, so like this?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is fun.
And then once you disperse it, then you can go in here a little bit and share a little bit, but you're focusing more on that angle. You want people to see that angle. That's usually what I'm thinking when I do.
Yeah, because you want them to see the
that's the shape of your
That's where the light will hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely Princess Leia. She was my first one, my easiest one, and one that my son recognized and loves. Number 3 is one that was a little outside of the box for me because I usually go with cosplays where I don't have to do a whole lot with my hair.
Okay.
Secret, I've never colored my hair.
Really?
This is natural.
Oh,
okay.
Virgin hair over here.
The roots are virgin.
Okay.
This is actually my real hair color.
Okay.
There was one point where I did like a balayage, but it was but that's more touching the length of it. One time.
Okay.
And then I got pregnant and then I was like, I can't color my hair. But yeah, roots are virgin. So I did a Scarlet Witch cosplay.
Nice.
And I loved the Wanda character. WandaVision is my favorite Marvel TV show at this point in time.
Yeah.
Love it. Loved everything about it. And so that's what I did. And I colored my hair red. I did more of a spray paint.
That's commitment.
Well,
still good.
And just, and I always try to use my own hair. And I have done some where I've worn a wig or two, but I really like to just use my own hair.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I have it. I might
as well do something with it. That's right.
So, did the beachy wave thing, colored my hair red, had the whole crown, everything going for me. Loved it. It was outside of my zone.
Yes, outside of your comfort zone.
And I loved it. I loved everything. I loved everything about that the costume.
Yes.
My boot broke though, But it's okay. One of my boots, I was like, no.
Casualty of war.
Casualty of war.
Yes.
But still made it work. And, it's still one of my favorite cosplays. I'm going to definitely bring that one back with a few more tweaks to it.
Okay.
And that's what I like
get
to
better
do.
with time.
Exactly. That's what that was my plan. That's usually what I do with my cosplays. I try them out, and then what can I fix next time?
Yeah.
So
which is the same with makeup. You
Exactly.
try it out, and if you're like, I could probably do this a little better, you try it next time.
Yeah. And that's the best part. That's the best part about cosplay is you can always enhance. You could always
add to
it.
Yep.
You can add your own flavor to it. Like my significant other, he does cosplay as well.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about his cosplays is he adds his own element to it. Like he did like a steampunk Aquaman.
Okay.
Western style Aquaman, and did like a steampunk. Yeah, he's done some steampunk stuff.
Which is awesome. I love steampunk stuff. Yes.
And it's like I love that you can do that with cosplay.
Yes.
That's one of my favorite things about it. And I love people's original cosplays. And so hopefully someday I will branch out in that direction. I'm still fairly new to it, but I'm baby stepping.
Oh man, it's
fun. I'm excited. I'm excited, just like yours. Like you add your own expression to it,
Yes.
and that's what cosplay is about. My second favorite cosplay. So I did Wanda, I did Leah. Oh man, is my Hela from Ragnarok.
Yes, that was that was beast mode cosplay.
Oh, I love Thor Ragnarok. I know people love Endgame, and I love Endgame too. My favorite Marvel movie, favorite guilty pleasure, Thor Ragnarok.
Yes,
I love the retro vibe, the comic book style, the graphics,
the music.
Totally.
Yes.
And my favorite part of the movie is Hela, and
I agree.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't normally root for villains. You're not supposed to, but I was like, she's so cool.
If you ever been a WoW fan and you were hordes, you understand.
Yes.
The villain's more fun to play, yes?
And I'm like, Kate Blanchett.
Oh my gosh, she killed it. Yes.
Yes.
She killed it. Even the first one, her swords come out of her arm. Oh man.
And it's hard to overshadow Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston.
But she had to do it though.
She walked out and she's just like, kneel, she wasn't.
Or when he threw the hammer, she's like, "You think that you're the only one that can do this?" And she just crushed it. Yes.
Oh yeah. And she's that whole.
My thing was when she had the swords come out and it was like the headpiece, all of that.
Yeah, and she just does it like she just went
very natural. You just
waving her hair and just everybody wanted to be her.
Yes.
Everybody wanted to be her, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna.
I'm joining.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna do it, and I'm like, you know, I have the hair length. I can do the makeup. It's not too bad.
No.
And when I came out for the first time in Hela cosplay, my son was dressed up as Hulk. Okay. And he was like, "Wow,
really?
That is so cool! Like, you're Hela." And it's still one of my favorite cosplays to do. It's one that I'm always trying to tweak.
Oh, that's
going to come back this year.
It has to.
And I'm trying to work on. So I usually do the longer haired Hela without the helmet.
Yes.
My goal is to actually get a helmet made so I can do the full blown. And I'm not crafty. I'm not.
You probably might find that it's not as hard to do if you really put your mind to it. You just have to find the material. I'm saying,
but I know people can help me.
I didn't know how to do a burnt face, not a burnt, a cut up face. It's really not that bad.
Okay.
You know, all of that I put on my face was toilet paper.
What?
Yep. It's toilet paper.
So I know who can ask to
toilet
help
paper
me.
and glue.
Yep. And who can help me? And so Hela is my number 2. My number 1, and what I'm most known for, and what I love, is Ahsoka Tano. And I have pretty much every variation of Ahsoka, except for I think the very young Padawan costume.
Okay.
Rebels is the one that I'm most comfortable doing. That's the first one I did, and that's the one I continue to do. Yeah. And I love that period because Rebels is my favorite animated show. Okay. In the franchise. I love Ahsoka and her look and that whole period. I do have the Mandalorian version, which I've done as well. So her look in the season 2 episode, I have that one. And I will be debuting my Clone Wars version of Ahsoka in 2 weeks at Fan Expo in Dallas. when I get to meet Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson and Ashley Eckstein and the whole Clone Wars cast. Oh, I'm so excited. I met James Arnold Taylor at a con last October. Super nice. He is the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi for the Clone Wars series. Super nice guy. I would be like, I'm back. And yeah, I'm so excited to meet both versions of Ahsoka. It is a dream come true. And for my son, he is a big, I think most kids are, they love Darth Vader.
Yes.
So he is a big Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader fan, and we are going to be both in person.
That's awesome.
You know, so little Seth Rivas loves Darth Vader.
Yes.
So,
and I don't blame him. I'm telling you, the villain is usually fun to play with.
Well, they are, and I love the Star Wars villains too because they're unique. Like even Darth Maul. I mean, you know, in the movie
he was cool though.
He was cool.
Have you met him?
I want to.
When we went to go see Ric Flair, he was there, and he sure did come out from behind the table and perform what he did in the movie.
That's
he did.
Cool. That is so cool. See, I like the live action version of him, and then the Clone Wars version of him, or the animated. He does a lot of. I want to say Ray Park also does the motion capture for. But my Star Wars crush is Sam Witwer. I love him, and he's one that is not at Fan Expo. I keep holding I'm like, please, just like last minute. But then I would probably cry and do a Jeff Goldblum reaction. Yeah, he is my Star Wars. He is my Star Wars bae. But Ahsoka's my favorite to cosplay, and I'm excited. And that's what I'm always working on.
Yes. No, but that Ahsoka one was impressive. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you get smarter. You get smarter every time you do it about the body paint.
Yes.
And I'm trying to, I will probably give in at some point and actually get a stencil done because I do all of her white makeup.
Really?
Freehand.
That's cool. Yes. You probably should keep freehand because probably the process of doing,
I get better with it. And so that's why I keep doing it. People are like,
the stencil might frustrate you then at that point.
Yeah. So I'm like, I enjoy freehanding it. There's pride in how I do it. And is it perfect? No. But I did it.
Yeah.
That's what makes me happy.
Yeah. So you'll see me every now and then go back to my fluffy brush and just keep playing with the colors. Basically what I'm doing is I'm just blending them in and making sure my light colors are blending in, my dark colors are blending in. Usually I'll have two of the same brushes. So that way, if this brush is using blending dark colors, this brush will help me blend the light colors.
Okay,
so I'll go in here, and I'll go in and I'll blend in. So you can go in and blend in your purple and reds, or your light, very light into the middle color. And then you use your other one to help your dark color blend into your light colors. You don't want to muddle them up. You just want to kind of encourage them to meet each other in the middle and say hello.
I like it. Hello there.
Hello there. How are you?
My Obi-Wan. I had to do it. Hello there.
And then you saw me also take my little pencil one, this one right here, pencil brush. I dipped into your color, which was Star Destroyer, and I deepened the blue a little bit. So I kind of placed it there, and I took my other brush and I just started blending it into the blue that was already there and continued to angle it out a little bit. So that way...
I'm like the worst at angling.
You start from your bottom lash line and you do little circles that way. So you're shooting it that way. That's the mindset I go into when I do it. You're just shooting it that way. And it also depends on your eye shape. For me also, if I don't get the angle I want, then when I do my concealer and I tap them in, I start tapping the angle I want in there.
That makes sense. I actually cheat and I do that with my concealer too because my eye shape is not the best for cat eyes sometimes, or at least the way
work
that
with what you got. Work with what God gave you.
Exactly.
That's what you. So we got our eyes done, our eyebrows are done. So now the next thing to do is I do the concealer next. So that way I take care of whatever happened down here. So I usually go with whatever color is for me, or sometimes a little lighter. I use my finger. I don't use a brush for concealer. I've stopped using brushes a long time ago.
It's nice and it's gentler on your eye.
Right.
And
I just tap it in there.
I cheated. I did mine.
That's okay. That's quite all right.
I was like, I don't go anywhere without
I
Gotta
do.
hide
I
that.
go out barefaced. I don't know.
Beautiful skin,
Yeah.
though.
Thank you.
Beautiful skin, though.
I try.
With me, it's like I crawled out of a cave and
My mom gets on me for it. She's like, "You need to put something on your face." I'm like, "Nope,
no. If you can go makeup free, go
nope.
makeup
I'm
free.
gonna go with all my freckles and everything." So once I have the concealer where I want it, then I go in with I wipe my finger first. I go in with my little bouncy sponge, and I start working on and I wet it. Because for a long time I didn't do that, and I found out later on that it probably works better that way. It's
Huh.
wet. So I soak it. I make sure there's lots of water on it. I squeeze all the water out so it's damp. And then I have this big old brush or big old sponge, and I use my foundation. I do have different colors of foundation. Don't come for me for how weird it looks, but it works out somehow.
Well, sometimes you have to mix
I've
foundations
tried.
to get your
It
your
doesn't
shade.
come out right when I mix it, but I have a light one and I have one for when I tan. So these two colors are not the same.
No, but sometimes
But-
you have to mix them to get the shade.
Yes.
And that's the tricky part is if you can find your exact shade, kudos.
Yes. Yes.
If not,
You
there's
need an
no
award.
shame in mixing foundations.
But I know when I put it on the first time, it looks like it doesn't go because you see how light it gets. But eventually it works because it eventually dries down. I do put it over my lips because I wind up penciling it in. So I just start at the bottom.
I do that too. I actually use with the foundation I use a flat top brush.
Yeah.
to blend it.
Yep. I know I have one like that. I use that for my blush. So
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. But you use whatever works for you.
Yeah.
If
Lots
you
of
like,
different tools.
yeah, exactly. If you like the way it comes out with your brush, go for it.
It doesn't look that much lighter. That's the thing. Like you have it down with the mixing.
I'm not even mixing. I'm just patting it down.
Yeah. Like it blends perfectly, guys. You can't tell on camera or like from where you're at, but it looks great over here.
I appreciate it. Yay!
And I'm just saying, I'm like, look at that. I'm watching here like,
So while I'm doing this, the next top 4, and you might like this one. Top 4 songs you play when you're focusing on something. So it could be focusing on makeup, it could be cooking, cleaning. Top 4 songs you play.
So getting ready in the morning, get my little one up and out. I'm a big Cure fan. I love the Cure.
Okay.
They
You
are
just
one of
went
my
to a
favorite-
concert
I did.
too.
And they're fantastic live. This is the first, and they've been a bucket list, wish list item of mine to go see live. Worth every penny.
Okay.
Incredible. And so we love listening to A Forest.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little dance party in the morning.
Okay.
Gets us moving and up and going in the morning. Nothing like a good mellow but yet kind of danceable beat for the song. So Forest is one of my favorite songs, and his. So I am a big Madonna fan.
Then there's no reason to blush over that because a lot of us listen to Madonna.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've loved Madonna since I was little. My cousin grew up with us, living in the household, and she listened to a lot of like Prince, Madonna.
Okay.
So a lot of pop at that time, both English pop and Spanish pop, and just I've always anytime Madonna came out with a new album, even still now,
You run to get that
I am
first
like
listen.
Spotify, whatever I need to download. Let's go. So I don't necessarily have like a favorite song of hers. I listen to more of an album. So I rotate between. I love her Ray of Light album.
Okay.
Came out in '98, and it has a little bit of everything from like very danceable beats to with the Ray of Light title track to something very subtle, like with a Drowned World, Substitute for Love. So it kind of takes you in this musical journey, and whenever I'm in varying moods, whether it's cleaning or maybe I'm just getting home and I'm just trying to decompress or whatnot, I feel like that album has something for me every time. One of my I guess number 3. So when I work out, I listen heavy. I also am a big industrial rock,
same.
Rock fan.
Very, very heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So one of my favorite songs to jam out to when I'm working out is I'm going old school here, 1982.
Okay.
Wish by Nine Inch Nails. It is one of my favorite jams. They are my favorite band in the entire world.
Okay.
My Twitter handle is a whole nod to Nine Inch Nails. Resonance Chick. Yeah, that's
probably why I can't find you.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I don't know if I looked you up on Twitter.
What?
Well, I live on Instagram mostly half the time.
True. Yeah. This is true. But yes, I Resonance Chick on Twitter, and obsessed with Trent Reznor. I love Nine Inch Nails. Their albums, all their albums they've put out, I've always felt like I could find something on each album where I was at that point. Anytime I hit a milestone, good or bad, at some point in my life, Trent had a song for me. And I was like, so Wish is still one of my favorite jams to just throw on because it's hard, it's fast, the lyrics are great, and just the whole guitar solos, everything for that song is they're just fantastic. So one of my top workout jams, or if I'm really stressed out, that's one of them right there. And then, oh man, there's so much good stuff to pick from. So I'm going to go to Spanish music.
Okay.
A little bit. So I like Spanish pop. I grew up listening to a lot of it with my family. And there's an artist, her name is Faye, spelled F-E-Y.
Okay.
And the song is Azúcar Amargo. And it's just very pop friendly. I remember
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, my cousin it's a completely different extreme from Nine Inch Nails to Faye. And my cousin used to listen to the song. I remember she got the CD, and it was a CD at the time. I was trying to remember if she had that. I know she had a cassette too for Faye, but she would play the CD.
Okay.
And just loved it. It's just very upbeat. It's like da da da. Like
I'm gonna look it up.
It's very upbeat, and I still even remember. I found it on Spotify the other day, and I'm like, oh, it's my song. And it's just I have little dance parties when I'm getting ready. I have to hype myself up
for the
wake
day
up in the morning
to get out of bed.
Wake up to wake up, just hype up. I'm like, okay, I'm dancing, and I used to ballroom dance.
Really?
I did.
That's neat.
Yes, I did that for a while, and so I'm a dancer at heart.
Okay.
So I had to have something that
continues that.
So I'm just like, just dancing with. Yeah, I'm not going to terrify you guys with my singing. It's horrible.
Oh
no, I'm not.
You're like,
my son's like, please stop, Mom, please help. Significant others like, is the cat dying here?
Oh,
yeah, it's pretty bad. I will openly admit to. Don't take me to karaoke. I will cheer you on.
No, karaoke, you gotta do it. You have to do it.
You'll have to be really drunk though when I sing.
Oh my god.
Because it's terrible. It's terrible. So yeah, you want to be a little tipsy and more forgiving. But we will all Uber home for that.
See, you saw me putting on, this is my blush.
Yeah,
it's actually a lip blush.
I like the combo though.
I got it from H-E-B, believe it or not.
What?
Yeah. This is what is it? Is it L'Oreal? But it's called the Cream Shop. And basically it's a lip. You can use it as a lipstick or you can put it on as a blush. And I just tap a couple.
I like the shade. I like the.
They have a whole bunch of colors, including peach, brown.
Okay.
This is their darkest berry color.
I like it.
And I use a flat brush. You probably have one. And I just, whatever you do with your foundation, I do the same with the blush.
I like that.
I just disperse it. And if it's too dark, I'll put a little bit more foundation on and I'll tap it in there to kind of dull down the color. But if I want it like super, I'm right here, I leave it the way you see it.
I like it. I'm feeling it. I like it.
So that's what I was doing just now with my flat brush. It's just, you can get any one of these. This is a MAC one, but I know Elf has one for sure.
Yeah.
Elf definitely has one. Anyway, sorry. I figured.
Is that 3? I think it's 4.
You did your 4th for your music was one of them was Madonna.
Yes, so yeah, Madonna.
One of them was for Nine Inch Nails.
Faye.
Faye, that's your 3rd one.
That's the 3rd.
So your top 1.
Oh, this is tough. Oh no, I did it. The Cure.
The Cure. Okay,
The
yes,
Cure.
you did The Cure. That's
I
right.
did The Cure.
It's The Cure.
Which I love all The Cure. I don't think there's ever a bad song with The Cure.
I'm gonna have to listen. I haven't really heard. What
love song?
Maybe I have, and
Just
not
like
knowing who it was.
Yeah, that was
sometimes...
that was my. It's funny. When I was going out to the concert, my mom was like, "You're always going to concerts, and I don't know why you like all these bands. I didn't raise you that way." And then I was like, "Well, this is one of the songs they play." She's like, "Oh, that's who they are."
Yes.
She's like, "But they don't look like they play like that kind
of
music." And I'm like.
You look at Sugar Ray and you think, oh, heavy metal, and they're not.
No. Although I love Sugar Ray.
So I don't get you.
I love Sugar Ray.
Yeah, I miss Sugar Ray.
I do too.
Yeah. So right now I have my lip pencil and I have my eyeliner. So that's one of the things I like playing around with because I'm very much into that vampy Marilyn Monroe type.
Ooh, I like
that really bold eyeliner.
Okay.
It makes you kind of look like you're not sleep. Well, anyway, I use it to kind of elongate my eyes, so I always point it that way.
Okay.
And my eyes look, you see the way it looks, but when I put eyeliner, sometimes in my head, I look like I'm making it a little longer.
I
I notice that when I take my makeup off, it looks completely different. So basically, I went in with this. This is a Wet n Wild. I don't have any MAC special. You can do whatever eyeliner you like. It's a liquid liner, and I use one that has a very fine brush because it's easier for me to work with. And typically what I do is I try to make my eyes smile, but I don't do this and then paint because I'm not going to be looking at everybody like this the whole time. Hi, how are you? I don't do that. So you look at the mirror the way you normally would look at someone. So right now my eyes are relaxed. Then I take my brush and I would start at the bottom line here where my bottom lash line is. And I point my line up because I want my eye to smile. That's what I'm thinking of when I'm painting it. So I'll paint up, and then when I go into my lid, I'll paint over my crease. So you see how my top part, my brow bone skin folds over a little bit. I actually paint over that. So when I go like this, it looks crazy as hell. But when I go like this, it looks normal because the point is once you fill everything in and you get the line as far as you want to into your eye, you want the illusion of it all fitting together. So when you go like this, you may have a bat wing. Sometimes I do paint bat wings, so I like it. But when I go like this, it all makes sense because everything drops down where it's supposed to. Because when I'm looking at someone, I'm looking at you. I'm gonna have my eyes relaxed. Yeah.
It
doesn't look
very smooth. Like
yes.
It's lifted, but it's not. Looks very natural.
Right. And that's what I'm going for. I don't want it to look unnatural because if I do that, and I've done this, and then I paint, then when I relax, everything goes down.
Yeah.
So you look kind of sad. If that's the look you're going for, then go for it. But I'm trying to look less like I'm older and more like I'm put together. So, and that's the other thing. As you get older, your makeup has to evolve with your face and your body, So you have to adjust as you get older and your body does what it does. So that's how I do this one. I also like very anime eyes. I like the vampy eye, and I also like anime eyes. And typically anime eyes, they have, I don't mascara my bottom lashes. I just don't like doing it. And I don't paint all the way into my lash line either. I actually go into the corner and I darken that a little bit. Sometimes I smudge it and I go a little bit into my top. And then if I have a highlighter or blush, I know we don't have them, but we can still use a palette. You have a gold. You can probably put a little bit on your cheeks.
I might use my same shade actually. I'm curious how it'll work.
Yeah, it'll give you a subtle brightness there.
Use my same shade so it matches.
Yeah. And it just kind of gives you a little highlight there. A little gold. And this gold's going to look a little different on me because I'm a little darker, but it still gives the same pretty shimmer. Regardless of what your skin color is. I can see it. I don't know. You can see it from there. Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah. I like the type of makeup that is flexible with skin color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives a very unique look.
When it's fun to see how different shades look on different people.
Yes, I think that's the best part. Yeah. So the next thing I do is I pick a lipstick. This is something I did want to show you because you asked me about this before. This is that glitter that you noticed.
Yes.
It's very depends on what you put underneath it, but this one has like a purpley color. They have a white one. They have a peach one. So it's called Dazzle Shadow Liquid.
It's cool.
And basically, it does. I don't know if I can angle my hand, and that could be seen.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, but it gives a really nice shimmer to whatever you put on top underneath it.
It's liquid magic, you guys.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
But that's what you see me wearing sometimes. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring it to you to show you. So the other thing I do is I grab a lipstick. My favorite types of lipstick are mattes. I love mattes because they're easy to play with. They dry down easy. I do use the other ones, but I don't know. Mattes seem to work better for me. So I'm gonna do this pinky one.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I love berries. I love doing dark berry colors.
Same.
But I'm gonna use the pinky one. This is one I got from Walgreens. It's called La Rosy Confident.
That's cute.
By L'Oreal. So I'm gonna do like a same thing that I do with my eyes. I'm gonna do my lips. So I'm gonna start in the middle.
Oh, that's a pretty color. I like that.
All right. I don't do the whole thing yet. I just kind of place the color. And then the next thing I do is I grab my favorite dark pencil. I always use a dark pencil. And I go from the inner corner and I just kind of...
So you're doing like an ombre lip?
Yeah. Ooh. And it kind of gives my lips a little more shape.
I like that.
Yeah. I'm being a little sloppy now because I'm far away from the mirror, but...
That's cool. I will touch it up with lipstick after.
But once I get what I need on there, I'll get another brush because I have a lip brush as well, and I'll start pulling the color over. Yours looks really good. I like the way it blended together. Put some eyeliner on there and see what it looks like when you're done. Yeah, and just keep playing around with it. But
that on my shirt, I'm gonna wear this combination for tomorrow.
Are you really?
I'm gonna try to up it tomorrow at the show. By the way, guys, hybrid shows, hybrid school of wrestling, regular shows throughout the year.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna put in a plug, and of course, I gotta put in a plug for my great doctor here.
Thank you.
Face4Wrestling, Doctor the Wife. Bomb.com, guys.
Just saying. Thank you.
Just saying. We love you guys.
Thank you. I love you too. We appreciate you. Check out our cosplays as well. And you have a podcast.
Yes. So I am a co-host on the Socially Distanced podcast. Mm-hmm. It is part of the popbreak.com.
Okay.
And the popbreak.com is a website that's a hub for everything like anime. We have articles, anime, Star Wars, wrestling. If you love Marvel, we've got all the Marvel shows. We have a bunch of different podcasts under the hub. The flagship podcast is the one that my co-host Bill Botkin and I are on. Okay. And our other co-host Al Manarino. And we talk about everything from probably every Disney product that's out there because we just love Marvel. We Marvel, Star Wars. We talk about
Star Wars, which is the theme for today.
And we talk about different movies that are coming out. In fact, we just actually did a rewatch of Indiana Jones.
Oh, you did?
We dropped our new episode today, which we talked about Last Crusade and then Crystal Skull. But we had one of our guests try to defend why it's really not that bad of a movie. He did a great job putting an argument together.
Oh, you don't get a doctorate for that one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And then this coming week we're starting to rewatch Mission Impossible. So
okay,
so we bring in a variety of guests. In fact, Waldo has guested, so
that's
you can check out his episode of Mando. Mm-hmm. He did a great job. He blew our minds with some of the information he brought. So, but yeah, we talk about a bunch of different pop culture topics, and we are hilarious. And in fact, this week's episode was really funny because our guests were they are on another podcast called Not So Couple Goals, where they cover romantic thrillers that are all over the map. Okay. And in honor of Harrison Ford, because we were talking about Indiana Jones. Yeah, we were watching What Lies Beneath.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was.
I knew exactly what you were going to get to. Yeah.
And we're terrible because, of course, Murder Me Harrison Ford is a whole new meaning. Thanks to
Yes.
that podcast.
Yes.
So it's a lot of fun, and so please check us out. We are on all streaming platforms, and so hopefully you enjoy it. And if you have any feedback for us, we're always open to it.
Leave it in the comments section.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a phenomenal 444. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out of it. Lots of some things. I hope you try some things because you got a lot of great colors. Definitely, you need to dig into all of them. So where can we find you?
So I am on Twitter at ResnersChick, and it is ReznorsChick. So ResnersChick, because yes, I love Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor's name forever. And then at Amandalorian on Instagram. So that's where I'm primarily active. I post random stuff about all the pops. I'm an avid pop collector. Pops, pins, my t-shirts. I share all the wrestling.
You are a t-shirt queen on Instagram.
And
yes.
There's still so much I haven't posted.
Wow.
Yet.
Goals, t-shirt goals.
Yeah, and so I share lots of wrestling content too because I gotta support the peeps.
Yes.
Support local wrestling.
Yes.
So out there in the universe, please go support your local wrestling.
Yes.
Support your hardworking talent, whether they are wrestlers, production. You know, everybody works so hard to put together a phenomenal product, and you never know because who you see out in the independent scene today could be your next WWE, NJPW, AEW, star. So
that's true. That's
support
true.
local wrestling.